What's up? This is Jordan Gray from Half Lit and DopelivenTV.
Hey, this your boy Don Ritchie representing the Midwest 219 Stand Up.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Lamar Tate.
This is your girl, Monifa.
Hey, what up? It's your man Dave Hollister from Blackstreet.
You know what this is right here. This Trigger Tretch in the building.
Hey, what's up, y'all? This is your boy Jason Weaver. And whenever I'm back home in the SHAI, I'm checking out Dope Living TV.
Hey, it's your girl, Adina Howard, and you're watching Dope Living TV, live with Greg Gray and the crew.
Hello. Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Greg Gray. This is Dope Living TV Live. Let's start off by saying the views that are expressed on this Dope Living TV Live are not necessarily the views of Dope Living TV or its affiliates. Hey, man, I hope we're going to have a great show tonight. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let me bring my sister on right quick. You working, sis?
Hey, welcome. How's it going, bro?
Let's go. Hey, man, look. So we gonna have one tonight, regardless. Look, my man.
You know how we do it.
You know how we do. So Garfield's having some trouble logging on, all right. But today, man, we definitely had for you guys, man. This guy's a platinum artist. He's an author. He's an activist. He's a philanthropist. He don't have Chrome. Gina, he said he doesn't have Chrome. How does that work?
What'd he say?
He does not have Chrome.
Okay, he can not. There's another option there. I didn't get a reply from him.
Okay. So maybe, Gina, talk for a quick second, man. Tell him about the Distinguished Authors Guild. But anyway, let me introduce him first, okay? Let me introduce him. Again, he's a platinum artist. He's an author, he's an activist, he's a philanthropist, and he has the auspicious title of doctor to his name. So R&B wasn't just as his main thing.
He's suspicious?
He's the auspicious. All right? They called him the light-skinned guy in the quartet, SHAI. All right, he was the light-skinned dude. Mr. Garfield Bright, he's going to be on with us tonight when we get him situated.
Come on, Garfield, answer my message so I can help you out here.
Talk to him for a second. So what's the other option, OG?
He can go through, he doesn't have to go through Chrome. He could go through Facebook.
He can go through Facebook?
Yeah.
I
need him to reach out to me, though, because he didn't even read my message yet.
Right. But anyway, tell him about the Distinguished Authors Guild.
Man, it is going to be a wonderful time. We just signed on a new artist, R&B. So, oh, man. And his name is Raphael Miller. Unscripted. He got a new release coming out tomorrow. He has a new release, you guys, coming out tomorrow, streaming on all platforms. You guys go ahead and listen to it. Let's help this brother out, because you know what? The more people listen, the more people get to hear it. And you know what? We have to support each other. So listen, go on YouTube, type in Unscripted, UNSKRYPTED, Raphael Miller, and listen to his music. This boy is bad, and he will be performing at the Distinguished Authors Guild in Las Vegas, Nevada on November 8th, along with Joseph George. Yes, he's doing better than I do, y'all. But we will have a good time celebrating authors, making sure that they get their flowers while they're here. So I want you guys to join us next week, because we will have the nominees, not all of them, but we will have a lot of them on next week. All next week, we will have the Authors Guild all week, Monday through Thursday. So tune in, because you might find yourself a new book.
Yeah, and those authors that are going to be coming on, you might find yourself getting a movie. We should put that. We should put that in there, man. That one of the winners is going to receive a full movie. We're going to do a full movie on their book.
Yeah. Well, we are doing a full movie on winning authors' books. Bro and I right now are filming our first movie together, Behind the Collar by Karen Dade. And we are in the, I would say, a fourth of the process, bro. We're almost halfway there. And I'm learning a lot because I got a good teacher right here teaching me all the ins and outs. It's looking good so far, and I'm very, very excited about it. I just can't wait until we release this because it's going to be dynamic. The book is awesome. Behind the Collar, the book is awesome, and the movie is going to be awesome. So keep your eyes and ears out for Behind the Collar. The movie is coming out soon, and who knows? The next winner of Distinguished Authors Guild, your book may be next.
We're going to film that movie. We're going to make that book into a movie. But right now, man, look, like I said, this gentleman, man, and we're so blessed to have him on here, okay? He's a platinum artist. He's an author. He's an activist. He's a philanthropist. He wears a lot of hats, okay? Again, that's the light-skinned dude in the group SHAI, okay? Y'all remember SHAI, all right?
Yes.
If I Ever Fell in Love, Comforter, and my favorite song, Baby I'm Yours, If You Want Me.
I'm glad he sings it and not you.
Whatever. Everybody say what's up to Mr. Garfield Bright. What's going on, brother?
What's happening? Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Cool. Because I ain't do a mic check or nothing like that.
But you know what? You got on by yourself.
No, he didn't. His wife.
No, wifey just, I think through her phone. She got all the apparatus. Look, man, tech-wise, when man said, here's the link, I thought I was going to click a link and then I was going to be here. It didn't work like that, so, you know. But I'm here, though. She got it on her phone, so I'm here.
Well, welcome. We're happy to have you.
How y'all feeling? Good to see y'all.
Man, we're feeling great, man. So, I mean, you know, first of all, man, thank you for coming to the show.
Maybe I need to turn the sound up. I can't hear.
Can't hear us. Now, I'm going to do some sign language. So,
hey, look.
We hear him loud and clear. He's crispy.
No,
clear.
I can't hear y'all.
Okay.
I can hear you, but it's the low volume. I think my phone got to get turned up. Hello? Say so.
We got you.
Got it? Okay. We ready to roll. Ready to roll.
Cool.
Hey, man, first of all, what kind of phone is it? Is it an Android or is it an iPhone?
iPhone.
Yes, sir. We
That's
good.
I have no I'm not that argument. I have no that's the kind of stuff when I taught English Lit last semester. I had the kids writing essays, persuasive essays based on those two things. You know, trying to
not based on the phone, the Android or the iPhone.
Yeah, that's what they resonate with. So they can tell you all the features But for me, I'm just like that. As long as it can dial out, text a couple of people,
right. And you
give
can
me on the internet and email. Check my email.
But something I already know, man. Welcome to the show, first of all, bro.
Thank you.
We appreciate you. We appreciate you for coming through, hanging out with us.
Thank you for having me.
And man, look, you were part of a group that just, I'm telling you, man, in the 90s, you guys had the hits. You guys were beating out Michael Jackson with this music, okay? Well, I'm saying, you know, I'm not lying, okay? You all were beating them out, okay? But you guys had songs that had meaning and this and that, man. Tell us what happened? You know, not what happened. What started the group SHAI? How did you guys get started?
Well, SHAI. Well, first of all, SHAI is an Egyptian word and it means destiny in human form. And the Egyptians always dealt in duality. So there's a female complement named Renenet that's like fate, and together destiny and fate weave a web to make future. Like so we took the destiny, which is a male personified piece, and put it on us. The three other guys are Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity members, so they kind of steeped in Egyptology and stuff like that, being from Beta. And so they Mark Gay out of the group already had the name SHAI, and he named it Special Darius. And they already had that name formed before I fell into the group. Darnell and I grew up. We came in. I was 17. He was my freshman roommate, and by the time he pledged, we had just kind of started hanging back out again. And he had already kind of gotten to the group SHAI. They were rehearsing for this big show at Howard University. And, a couple of the group members, a couple of days before the show, didn't show up. So they went from having 4 or 5 part harmony to just 3. And I had just been kind of sitting there the whole time, just coming to check out D, watch them practice. And I soaked up so much of it. D was like, look, bro, we need you, man. I know you know the parts. And I was like, well, I do kind of know the bass a little bit, And so from there, we did all these Boys II Men covers and got an encore that night. And we did If I Ever Fall in Love as our encore tune. And by the second chorus, the whole crowd already knew the words. And this was a tough crowd. It was like the Apollo. They wanted to boo everything on Friday night, And so that gave us the impetus to say, hey, let's try to get a record deal that night. And we went for it and messed around. In our naivety, even though we thought it was supposed to happen, it messed around to happen for us. Like, oh shoot, like have we know. If we knew then what we know now, we'd have been like the chances would have been next to impossible for us to get the deal. But all the stuff lined up, and next thing you know, we were in the right spot at the right time with the right kind of music and the right appeal and the right age and all kind of other factors that ended up making us, a commodity at that moment. And the rest was history.
And it all came out right, man. I'm telling you, you guys made some songs that people, like you said, can resonate with. And you guys were college guys, so I mean, you had your niche right there. And it worked out really well.
Yeah, it was a lot going on during that time period. Even though we were college guys, like we were situated in Washington D.C. at a time in the '90s, late '80s, that was a crack era, and but then it was also the golden age of hip hop. And it was like the burgeoning golden era of R&B, like the renaissance of the groups at that point in time. So all those was overlapping. We were in school at Howard University, which is one of the epicenters for the pulse of young Black America at that time.
Yep.
And, Puffy was there. All these different people were there. And it was just an energy, man. And it was kind of just wild that I ended up, coming through that womb, so to speak, and being birthed into an industry with all that stuff on it, like from the Howard days, all that, being in D.C. during the crack era, having to be in the streets, being in the nation during that time, dealing with the crack, crack dealers, shutting down the projects, trying to help clean it up and getting shot at, guns not going off, all kind of wild stuff was happening back in those days.
Wow.
But it was like, it was a good coming of age time period, especially being in such an accelerated pace with music coming on the scene. Like our chill out music was Rakim talking about the knowledge itself. That's nothing I can't solve. 360 degrees, I revolve. It's
don't do it.
I proceed to make the crowd keep moving. So that was our party music. Boogie Down Productions, you know what I'm saying? My philosophy, like that was what we was partying to. But at the same time, it was conscious and it was giving us a certain mind frame, a certain way to look at the bigger society, to be critical of it while we were swimming in it, knowing that, hey, on one side, we got to make a living, but two, we're not going to blindly rush through this and not see what's really going on. So it was creating something there. It was creating a certain type of hustle, even no matter what genre or field you went into. Coming from Howard, you had a certain background. You had a little bit of aesthetic that was steeped in hip hop, but you was also going to have a mind frame that was critical and that was really leery of the power structure, never looking at face value for what it was, always questioning, always being that voice that's going to kind of be a naysayer. So just a little bit to pressure test something like Howard put that in you. And that held us in good stead as we went out about our way. Luckily, we landed into an entertainment field, but we were always more than that, each of us. You know what I mean? Like I got my PhD in educational policy studies because my foundation, I was already a scholar. I came to Howard, to be.
That's right.
But I just happened to fall into a group at the same time. So it taught me a lesson of doing both and win-win paradigm instead of like either or, because your soul gonna need that. So for my advice for people out there who have a talent or a skill and in their mind, they've been conditioned to think that it won't make them money. They're gonna go a route that's more secure. Your soul gonna be mad at you in your later years because you didn't explore what God gave you. So you have to do both. You got to be practical and work within a certain framework where you got to eat. But at the same time, you have to get that thing out of your system that God put into you that resonates with other people. No matter what that is, you got to do both of those. I'm an example of it. I did both and made them work, and then made them join together. You know what I mean? Because you know, nothing like the present. Like right now is all that we have. The illusion is just future.
Yes.
It ain't no gully that we jump over from the present to the future or to the past. It's always a now, right now, that's unfolding. So, you know,
Garfield, did you see as much competitiveness in the industry back then as you do now?
Nah, I mean, there was, you know, competitiveness. There's different levels to what that is. Like, even people on the same team or people in the same class, you competing for who's going to be valedictorian, but you got a healthy respect for them because they nice with it, you know.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's a different kind of compare. So of course, as a group, you want to represent your group. We felt like we was teams damn near. Like it kind of felt like we all had, our group was our football team or our team. That's our brand. And so we competing to see who get the crowd rock, but you know that they nice with it, they nice with it, they nice with it, and they nice with it. And all of them sound different, but we nice with it too. And on any given Saturday, you know what I'm saying? But so competitive in that regard, but never competitive to a point to where I hate that mother. I don't like. Nah, it's like I'm standing on the side of the stage so I can rock to that Human Nature remix that SWV had out, or that Freak Me That Silk and Lil G was going bananas with.
Come on,
dude. You know, rocking H-Town, knocking the boots, or Enjoy or Die. Somebody from Jay was Don't Walk Away, and then all, you know, then Minority or BBD would come out, and Ricky would smile again at the end with the joint with the cape on, like. You know, we was fans, like all that, like we was, you know, we was blessed to be a part of a movement where we knew we was dope. So we was confident enough to say, hey, but you dope as hell too. And then really mean it and then really enjoy it. Like if I wasn't SHAI, all them artists would have been my favorite artists still, like, cause they was dope, you know what I'm saying? And Mint Condition, you know, happened to just be my favorite group.
Come on.
So it was actually a band, you know, like I was fascinated, like how the Roots is actually a band, but then hip hop. Mint Condition was actually a real band in our time period, like the Commodores or somebody, but they were in our time period. And then Stokely was just a phenom, vocally, lyrically, and he played them drums like that. So I was always, you know, steeped in our R&B things. It wasn't no competition in that regard. You know, people might have had something with us, but for me, I ain't really see it like that. I enjoy all of that stuff.
I'm gonna tell you,
my playlist.
I'm gonna tell you, G. Back in the day, we spoke with Noel Gordine. By the way, he told me to tell you, hey,
what up, what up?
But back in the day, man, I had a music video show, and I actually did an interview with you guys. All right, and it was one of the better interviews that I had because you guys were very diverse. You guys were very different. Each one had your own personality. Each one had something different to say, and you all vocally, man, like you said, y'all was on game. Y'all was on point. You know what I'm saying? So. But they always called you the light-skinned guy in the group. And, you know.
Hey, the light-skinned guys were popular back then.
But we wasn't lying, okay? Because all the rest of them was Africans.
Hey, man, melanin comes in different shades. 16 shades.
Let's go,
That's
man.
right,
Look,
that's right.
You ever heard the Black Panther Party? You see
yes, sir.
Newton up there representing, you know,
you was a light-skinned dude too.
No, you got what I'm saying. You see what the substance was, regardless of the melanin content. Yeah, the outskirts, the internal organs got melanin too, bro. And your pineal gland is activated by that, so you know it depends on how in touch you are. So the complexion. My man from Outkast, Andre 3000 said, how many dudes from the dreads for the cause? You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like you know all those signals and cues. It's the heart.
And I can say this, man, you know, I don't know if you even remember coming to Chicago and sitting down with me, okay? But you still the same dude, man. You're still the same dude.
I was always me before SHAI. So SHAI was just like being in the bonus round of the video game. Like I knew it was a special moment. At some point, that reality wasn't going to be a reality because it was just too stretched out of proportion of a way of being for that to be like your whole life. Like, Jesus, that's wild. But I was already grounded in my own mind, and I was on for that ride. I knew we made some classic songs though, and that we wrote, and we was gonna get royalties and still be able to do shows. So I was cool with that. But yeah, man, like I was always me before that. Like I was just Garfield the whole time, really. You know what I mean? So
that's cool. I mean, to stay grounded, especially in that type of industry.
Yeah, I saw the industry as being a place that I was coming into that was foreign to me, but I was a part of that crowd. But I knew that was like You know, like that ain't a place where your life just stays in. Like, you know, I mean, some people's do. I don't know how they navigate it and stay in it like that. But you know, that close to it. But even when I was in it, I was never really the club dude. We were performing in a club, but I wasn't in LA going out to the Century Club and all these. I go to Glam Slam when Prince had like Tribe Called Quest or somebody or Nas come through and perform.
Yes,
and I go
sir.
out and check that out. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I wasn't all out and about in it. We had a music studio in our crib. At the time, we was living in Ice Cube crib from that video. Today Was a Good Day. That was our crib. He was our landlord, so we was in there. And I was cool with being in that pool we had in the backyard and just being in the studio and recording all the time till it was time to go back to do a show, make some more bread. So we was overlooking the jungles. I don't know if people from,
right.
From LA, you know what the jungles are.
You know.
We lived in the Dons, so the Dons was like right above the jungle. We had to go down to Ralph, so we had to come down through there, and but that was still our peeps too, though. You know what I mean? But I ain't really go too many places, man. I just kind of chilled. I wasn't really Hollywood, so to speak, but I love being in the music industry for the creative aspect and the fellowship with the other, like Portrait, all those other dudes we play ball with all the time. It was just that thing. But the industry part of it, the shady aspect of the industry.
Talk about it.
I always want to stay away from that. Like I ain't rub elbows. I didn't have a lot of cachet because I ain't really know too many people because I never really got close to those industry type cats. Like my peoples was the artists, you know what I mean? That want to play ball and just chill out and make some or do some collabs or something. A lot of rappers I kind of got cool with because I got a hip hop spirit. But he was just, I know it was Hollywood. I appreciated that moment for what it really was, and I was just Garfield in that moment.
Y'all know we're getting ready to get masterclass here, right? Okay, because we got a lot of knowledge in not only just this music, but a lot of other avenues. This guy, like I said, has many hats, all right. But let's stay on the music for a quick second. So, as you guys were coming up, and as soon as you had that big hit, you know what I'm saying? It's 4 guys. You guys had to have had some kind of jealousies and this and that within the group. Hey man, I'm gonna take this lead. I'm gonna take this lead. You saying Comforter? You saying the lead?
Our issues never came over the music. That was like how people be talking about. But when I was on that football field, that's why I had my peace. No matter what was going on outside in the streets. When I got on the field, like when we came together, we were so good at what we did, and it was so easy for us. Like any kind of like issues and growing pains as 4 young black men put together in a time period, where we growing still, maturing still as young men with different ways of seeing the world, trying to mesh through some professional industry business. You're gonna have some growing pains and stuff like that as men, whether you're on a football team, a basketball team, in the military, a family. You're gonna have people that don't grow symmetrically. These different tangents. And can you recognize that as young men while you're on a trajectory for success to maintain that? Like, what the dynamic. So that's just the human story behind. So anybody who's alive has dynamic quality. So we had facets. We had people who did. All of us at some point didn't see eye to eye on different issues. We resolved and worked out. Ultimately, though, we didn't laugh. We didn't hang together. Like, Carl wanted to do his thing, so he ended up kind of like going solo, and the other 3 of us was kind of like trying to fend for ourselves and convince people that we were talented too.
Yeah.
Because Carl actually wrote the lyrics to If I Ever Fall in Love, so the perception was that he was the producer of the group and the talented guy in the group from a distance. But then when you really dig deep, you see that Darnell and Mark did a lot of the musical stuff. We had people like Pocket and Brew from the outside. Musicians would come in and play certain tracks like Mr. Turn You Out. But Mark was really nice to the piano. And if you heard Together Forever or During the Storm, you listen to Mark Gaye at his finest. And Darnell, if you listen to If I Ever Remix with that doom, 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 that's an Isaac Hayes sample that Darnell found and brought to the group when we needed to do a remix to this a cappella song we had. So, all of those things, like Darnell came to Howard on a band scholarship from Patterson on Eastside High School, Joe Clark. That school had one of the dopest high school marching bands in the country. And Darnell was a star from that band who got a scholarship to Howard University based on that. He was a lot like Nick Cannon in drumline, except he played the trumpet. Darnell was making up dance routines for Howard University marching band as a freshman. Like his swag, so he was a little prodigy, but he was a reluctant superstar. So he's a musicianship there. So, and he carried it over to SHAI, but he didn't get a lot of credit for it, him and Mark. Carl was a real savvy business mind, real dope with the business, and he could really, really put his pen to the page. He had dope lyrical talent, you know what I mean? So some of that and all the what do you call it? When you really have a passion to want to get ahead, whatever that, what's the word that starts with an A? Can't think of it right now. Ambition. Ambition mixes with that youth, that youthful spirit, and that kind of like, let's just get there instead of the path part. A lot of things can kind of like along the way be forks in the road because everybody's developing. I don't even know if our frontal lobes was all the way ready yet, but you know, we were in there as young black men trying to do the best we could. But yeah, it was a little tension, and you know, between Carl and the rest of us. But we got through that, and we rocked, and we did it until we couldn't do it no more with him.
And so when you got to that point of you guys did all that you could do, you started to. I mean, did you fall out of love with the music, or did you just say, well, hey, I'm gonna put this on pause and I'm gonna keep on rolling with something?
We ain't never paused. We always been doing shows ever since back then. Never stopped. As long as the promoters booked us, we ain't never stopped. It's different iterations of us. A lot of times me and Darnell was just doing 2-man things, you know what I mean? And all over Europe, that's kind of how we started. And so then we saw people accept us as just two, because a lot of the dominant voice, you know, people remember, you know, Darnell with the pretty If I Ever voice and the high note and the hook, and then me with Comforter, and then, you know, I can cover down on other little songs, but the mama, like I had a signature kind of sound too. So me and Darnell together, we did it, we worked. And then we finally went and got 2 more members that we knew way before we knew Mark and Cardinal, like the guys from Riff. We that was Darnell's big brothers. They went to the same high school with Darnell. Darnell's dad was their manager when they became Riff. Songs, you know, so that was a family. So Dwayne from Riff now rocks with us, and G Fly. Some of the members from Riff, when they started them a little bit, went to Men of Vision, and so G Fly is over at Men of Vision, and Dwayne. Those two dudes came from Men of Vision and jumped in SHAI when we was looking for 2 more guys. Yeah, we knew them since way back in the day. So it wasn't like we had some new guys that we just didn't know. We was trying to audition people. Nah, we knew these dudes from way back in the. Hey, yo, y'all trying to get on? What's up? And then we started doing our 4-man shows again about 15 years ago. And we've been doing shows. We got a show this weekend in Augusta. Y'all still touring. We got a show in Mobile, like for Mardi Gras on Wednesday. Then on that Saturday, we gonna be in Tampa. Like we should be doing shows back. You know, we do a lot of shows still.
Hey man, I'm telling you, because I'm getting ready to do my music video. If all of them coming back and everybody's there, I'm doing my music video show again.
But it never stopped. Like the 90s shows and the artists, we've been doing shows because people never got tired of the 90s. Like other stuff overlapped and came into existence and was on the charts more or less with the appeal and resonation that people have with that 90s sound. People still put that in the playlist. People still people come to town and they hearing that SHAI's in town. Oh my gosh, SHAI's in town. Oh, I'm going, you know. And
that's never going away. It's never going away.
That's happening. SHAI 112, Jagged Edge.
Yes. All y'all.
Which is dope. I love seeing Next, H-Town, you know, the Mayas, we have Tevin Campbell sometimes, Genuine always be on the John. Like all the 90s, we rock together. And we've been doing it for the last 20-some years. I see these dudes almost every other weekend for like 20 years.
What's up? That's what's up.
And big venues, nice arenas. So in fact, the show in Augusta is sold out.
I was gonna say they're selling out too.
Yeah.
And that's real music. You can't skip on real music.
And it's fun music. Like it's a fun. It takes you down a nostalgic path. You get to relive your moments. And everybody by and large sounds great. They still sound the same. Like, you know. And then for us, we get the fellowship and have the camaraderie because we've been with each other forever through the music, and it turns into a big party, really, like a cool little vibe festival. Everybody, I love all the artists on there. I love all their songs, all their hits. You know, it ain't no bad. Look at Jay Holiday. What up, boy? You know, like, you know, doing the next one up. You know, it be love, man. You know.
But y'all got a new audience. Y'all got a new audience now. These younger kids.
Yeah, the audience is infused with some of the young heads whose mom and them used to play while she was cleaning up on Saturdays and Sundays. And they got a little whiff of that. But like, well, how come my joints don't sound like that? Well, I like this old stuff too, you know. So mama and daughter can come to the show and be right there, loving it the same. But then we got like Jason Derulo and Pentatonic remade If I Ever, and people remaking your stuff, you know, making it even more relevant. Jeremiah in that song We that he had, there's no we without you and I. He also had a part of breakdown that Ooh, da-doo-doo-doo-doo. He had that in that song, so he kept that kept us relevant too. You know, all these little odes to, you know, us as like OGs in the game. So many different places solidifying us, you know, as like, yo, they did that, you know. So that's a big up. You know, the younger cats like your stuff and resonate with you enough to put it in their song. It's like, dang.
I'm telling you, G, because I was looking, you know, because my son is 28. I was looking on YouTube. There's guys, young guys, that are actually doing some what do you call those? Reaction videos. You know,
word.
So I saw this. I saw 3 people that did a reaction to you guys.
What?
Baby, I'm yours.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Look on YouTube.
Yo, Baby I'm Yours is my least favorite song.
That's my favorite.
Let me tell you, it used to be, this is why it's my least favorite, because it was my favorite, the form that we had it in before we got a record deal. We used to practice in the bottom of the Fine Arts building at Howard. It's a soundproof room, and it always has a piano in it. And Baby I'm Yours, the chorus is Let's Get It On by Marvin Gaye. That's Baby I'm Yours is Marvin Gaye's Let's Get It On. If you listen to the chorus, it's Let's Get It On. So when it's just being played on the piano and we doing that, Baby, I'm let's get it on. It's baby, I'm yours. If you want me, it's just let's get it on. So let's get it on. So it had that real soulful, and it was no percussion except for what we gave it to when we patted on the piano or something.
Come on, boy.
Real rich harmony was there.
Yeah.
So that version, for it not to have that version on the album, and it got replaced with that, like that just broke me a little bit, just a little bit, like. Compared to but people love it. And then we did the video at Howard University. So it just kind of like made it a whole bunch. So I don't hate it. It's just that what it used to be before, it had to be a little pop on there. I used to just love the soulful version. Like,
I'm karaoke in that joint all the time, man. I'm karaoke in that joint for real.
We perform it every show, that version that you like. We perform that, we do that.
Hey, but I'm doing your part. You
Stop it.
Darnell come over to something. Don't you love it?
Come on now.
Yo.
Okay, y'all get that joint, man. But hey, we having too much fun here, man. We talking with Garfield Bright, formerly of the group SHAI. Well, not formerly, of the group SHAI. Okay, tell me, man, what's the Garfield Bright experience about?
Oh no, that's just something I gave a title to my page to just cover all the quirky just layers and levels of anything to do with my life I plan to have on that page. So if it pertains to me, I figured that anything dealing with my life is part of my experience. So it was apropos, the Garfield Bright experience. I do wear a lot of hats, so I figured it might, be just dynamic in me just being me. I am a doctor. I am Dr. Bright. I am a member of a platinum R&B group. You know what I mean? I'm an educator. I'm a lot of different things. In this one hat. If I start, I'm an author. I wrote a book that's about to finally drop. And, once I finally like just being myself, talk about different forays of my world, it will look like an experience. So I just was like, this is my experience. Come join with me, and go for a ride. I'm about to create this YouTube channel. I was doing a thing on my Instagram a while ago called Curiosity Collage, and a lot of people keep, asking me to bring that back. It was a hodgepodge full of just information, everything from why is Wednesday spelled like Wednesday and what does that really mean, all the way up to like Cheryl Harris talking about whiteness as property from Critical Race Theory. It just all the things in between.
Yeah.
So just educational, factoid based, historical always, and just some pertinent perspective that might provide a little balance compared to what's out there type thing. So that's what it's going to be about. So I'm doing that too. So I think by the time I hit all these angles, you'll have a little experience messing with me a little bit.
For sure. We want that experience, bro. So I got to ask you, since you brought it up, man, because I've always had this curiosity. Wednesday.
Oh, you want me to talk about it? Tell you about it?
Wednesday. I sure do.
Yeah, because I was in like second grade, people who I otherwise thought were pretty intelligent, my teachers who I looked up to, had just taught me how to sound words out. I'm trying to do what they told me. And then I'm getting to this word that I'm clearly seeing is wed, then there's day. Y'all taught me this. Now how y'all gonna just act like it's Wednesday? I mean, why y'all doing this to me right now? So when
You
I was
sound
asked,
like me.
I was like, how y'all gonna just flip up on me? Like, clearly I'm sitting there.
You know, it doesn't even make sense to have a silent D. Just don't put it
Like,
in there at all.
so I had to really go there and figure it out, and I intuitively figured it out, and then I found proof later. But so the days of the week are interesting, very interesting, because you'd be surprised given the fact that this is a Latin language. You think everything is based and rooted in Greek mythology, but it's not. There's another beginning, and if our days of the week are named these names, and when I finally tell you what it is, we have to kind of like question a little bit historically, like our connection to the rest of the world, you know, in terms of like how trading was done and who were the people, like who was really here. But anyway, so if you know Monday and you know Latin, you know lunes, lunar, pertains to the moon, moon day, if you will, right? And yeah, moon day. Tuesday, Martes, Mars day, right? The planet associated with it. And the Tuesday, like the T, the hard D could also be like a Z. D and J and Z kind of interchange.
Yeah, Tuesday.
I'm thinking that's Zeus day. Tuesday, Marte. And Zeus was the thunderbolt, you know, the champion, the god that was of thunder and all that. Mars, god of the war and all that. Aries. Miércoles is Wednesday. Latin base. Mercury is the planet associated with it. But guess what? Wednesday there's a reason for it. The pronunciation, there's a person in a mythology context named Woden, or some people call him Odin. Those two names is the same person. Woden is the father of Thor. So Wednesday is Woden's day. Thursday then is Thor's day.
Thor's day. Come on, dude. Come on.
That's Jueves. Lunes, Martes, Jueves. And that's Jupiter. It's associated with it. Thor, Jupiter, the hammer, Jupiter. And then the consort of Woden, his wife, Freyja, it's spelled F-R-I-Y-A-A, Freyja. Some people say Freya, but it's a J sound, Freyja. But that's where Friday comes from. It's Freyja. It's the consort. And guess what? It's Viernes, which is Venus, the planet of love. And so it makes sense that the woman's name would be the one for Friday, because it's the planet of love that's represented, Venus. And then, of course, Sábado. That's Saturn, and the Sabbath. And then Domingo, that's sun, Domingo, Sunday, literally. And, that's supposed to be. So, yeah, that's the pretty much the breakdown. It's Woden, that's Norse mythology takes over the Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Like, they just flip way out of mythology from Greek and went straight Norse on us. And that's why it's Woden's day. But we never get taught about Woden coming through school, so we don't know whose day that. We don't know what that is.
Right.
Master class.
I would never gotten that. I'm serious, man. So when you, because you're a professor, right? When you're out there, because everybody knows you. I'm quite sure your students know who you are in the music.
Their parents do, and then by default, then they end up watching videos and be like, "Wait a minute, I heard Jeremiah sing that in his song. Oh, that's you."
So how do you control it? How do you balance that?
I don't know. I wish I could give you some pen or some magic silver bullet because I am just me in all spaces.
Yeah.
Like, it ain't like some veil got lifted. When they find out, it's more like, dang, bro, so what you doing in the class then? Like, why you here? They can't wrap their head around, how could you be that and this? And that's why I'm here. So I can bust your head open and make you see that it's way different ways of doing human than what you program. And if you got a heart for something, you're supposed to be in that space, bro. You ain't never too far away. And Bruce Lee was like, what is a star? Like, that's some nebulous, that ain't nothing real. Like, somebody that's talented at singing, that's something. But star, like, what is that? You can't touch that. Like, what is that? So as this person, you in a world with other people, you can't mentally ever, I don't know. I can't speak for Beyonce's and all the people that are that way, Taylor Swift's, and I can't even relate to that kind of stardom, fame, and all that. But me, even if I was in that realm, I probably couldn't be, because at a certain point I would be like, yo, I gotta be me in all spaces. And maybe in some of those spaces, you really have to take on a new, different version, and then create silos where you can be the me of it all. Because that business that you have become, like Jay-Z say, I'm I'm not a businessman, I'm a businessman. That's true at them levels you are. So, I mean, it's level 2, but that's such a huge version of it. You got to lose some of yourself, I guess, at times. But me, I want to be myself in all spaces so much that when it's like, when the star part of it or whatever, the celebrity part of it crashes into my world, they get met with the real Garfield so hardcore that they like, oh, this is how he wearing it. He ain't tripping, I ain't tripping. You know what I'm saying? And then later on, once they leave me, they might trip like, dang, that was dude. But he wasn't tripping. And then they trip out on in process, like, yo, he wasn't tripping though. Then they'll trip out. But in my presence, I'm just chilling. And even, I mean, I'm just G. I just happen to end up getting a record deal and sung some songs that was iconic in the world. But that was just, I'm blessed to be able to be a part of that, and it happened to me. But I'm just, in my mind, I'm Garfield. I'm sitting here, you know, drinking a Stella, recording a couple of songs. You know what I'm saying? On a Thursday night, I got a show Saturday. I'm just, you know.
Let me ask you, Garfield, you know, a lot of up and coming artists think that it's really easy. They're going to throw out this single or, you know, and it's going to become a hit.
Well, shit,
Is
I thought
it
that
really
too.
like that?
I can't be a hypocrite. I thought like that in my naivety at 17. We had this song called If I Ever Fall in Love that I thought was doper than anything I was hearing on the radio. I was like, yo, we supposed to get the deal. Look at our song, it's dope. Not realizing all the politics that could have come in between it, all the, like, it's more than just a dope song that's gonna get you rocking. But we had that, but we thought that was all you needed. We was like, shoot, Jodeci just got a dope deal. Like, they just went to New York and got a deal, which happened for them. You know what I mean? But right place, right time. And then we got just lucky. But nah, you gotta, like, especially now, I wouldn't even be trying to get a deal if I was an artist now, given the fact that you can kind of connect through social media, never have to surrender your masters, never, you know, you don't need. Back then, you needed a label for distribution purposes. That's pretty much what we needed, like, to get our product in various places to be bought on a mass scale. That was kind of what you was kind of halfway selling out to do, where they got the apparatus. But now, you got a following, whatever your following is, those people like you, they love your dirty draws. You can put out a product and market it to your people. You can cut out any middleman, grow your own cult thing. And if Joe Blow in Minnesota don't know who you are, but you got 10,000 followers and 8,000 of them buying anything that you put out, you don't need fame. You got your pockets off your residuals, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And you can perform in front of them 10,000 anytime you want to because they love it. And if they got cousins in them, some other state, the word might get out. You might develop 4 or 5 key states that you can always go to and rock and put merch out and just do the whole 9. And you just be making your little bread and your guap off what you've created in your local space. Enough, boom. And then pretty soon, you know, the right people to hear it. If it's popping enough, getting a critical mass. If it's dope, it's dope. It always comes down to the product, man. So, like, the product just got to be. You can have all the hookups in the world and in the universe. If when people listen to it, they're not feeling it, then that's just whatever. So make sure that you put in your blood, sweat, and tears and how making it a dope joint first.
And he just dropped a nugget, a big nugget.
But Garfield, let's keep it 100. And I want your honest, and you've been nothing but honest today, okay? I want your honesty. What's the state of this music right now to you? I mean, are we getting good music? Are we just getting stuff?
Well, look, you got to look at it in a larger context because the music don't come in a silo, bro. It's connected to real people that are in this world. And whatever the superstructure is pushing on us in a macro way, that's going to be reflected in our microcosmic aspects. So like our music, our fashion, our thought patterns are going to reflect the larger society that are inundating us with commercials and billboards and angles of thought through Democrat and Republican and, you know, taking books out of school and you know, what is sexual, what is not, what is good, you know, all of this stuff has to come out somewhere, and it's going to come out through young people's art, so to speak. Not only the content, but the method of going from nothing to completion. What process starts to look like is like a lot of form, and we saying there's no substance. But what's really happening, I think, you know, we looking at it like we old heads, so, and it's a lot of overlap, so people can judge it. Like, I'll give you a good example of what I'm trying to say. I don't know if you can remember when texting first came out, because you're young enough to probably never remember a time when it wasn't texting. But when texting first came out, right, these are words that we dealing with, that we got to type to people, right? It's an English language, right? You type in the English language. So say an English teacher from the old school is looking at what you typing. you doing all these abbreviations and all this stuff, and you get into your person's understanding. So as far as you're concerned, communication happened. But the English teacher person looking at this English, because this is the overlap in the two paradigms, is like, yo, you butchering the language. What is that? Like, come on, right? Complete, it's killing our youth. But the youth are like, yo, y'all not getting it. Yeah, we writing all these small little abbreviations because not only do we have the task of making sure that somebody get communicated to through this little shorthand rewriting, but these characters cost money. So it's smart in this paradigm to abbreviate, because I'm trying to make sure I ain't got to pay an arm and a leg and get you the message. You, the English teacher, just strictly looking at it from the sentence grammar structure, not realizing that now the kids got the money. So it's like it's a paradigm shift in our face with enough overlap that's camouflaging what's actually going on from the kid's perspective. They seeing it in infrared while we still looking in regular eyes.
Exactly.
And they can see in regular eyes too, though. But we can't see the infrared like them, so we're not even accounting for that part of it. So for us, it's like the appendix, like, yo, we don't need that. What is that? Not realizing that, nah, it's in your body for a reason. We need that. So it's something happening right now with the youth movement through music. And I think, I submit, you can look at certain barometers, like back in my day, we was always talking about, yo, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And because really we were seeking understanding, right? And intellectual, we've been down so much. We was coming from a paradigm where I'm gonna make these people understand it. So my lyrics was more detailed. My delivery had more of a cadence. It was more intricate. I came up with bop music. So that's an intellectual. Can you hang with me? But now the paradigm is, yo, you feel me? You don't need to understand me. But can you feel me though? So in my rhymes, I don't really need to say a lot of all the words even, because it's beyond my articulation. It ain't about my words. Can you feel my drip, my swag, where I come from, just in my tone, bro? You with it? What's up? So mumble rap to us was like, oh my God. But for them, it's like an extension of crump dancing compared to break dancing. Break dancing was real articulate. Every movement was defined, precise, defined fixes and gravity. Crump was just a mass, just a body movement of how I feel and who can make that be the dopest. It wasn't really articulate really in a lot of ways. Some people made it, like Tie Dyes. He had some breaking elements to his, so it was a bit different. But mostly Crump was just like getting it out, just getting it out. And can you feel me? Can you relate to me? I need to know if you can ride with me. I don't need you to understand me. I might be crazy, but can you feel me though? And so I think the music is reflecting, going towards that more, and we can't understand it as older heads because we still stuck on know what I mean, the intellectualized aspect of the content needing the lyrics need to be a certain, which is I can appreciate because I'm from that school. I kind of want that sometimes too. So I got to make it, I guess. But I ain't really mad at where it's going because I know it's headed in a creative way, in a way that I might not even be able to like put my finger on. I can't just call it. I can't diss it right now because I think it's like a haircut that's in between styles. You got to wear that hat for a little while to grow all the way to it. But you can't be mad at it because it's still the same texture. It got soul in it, and stuff in it. It's just it's in a stage right now.
I love his analogies.
Yeah, it's so I can't. I gotta wait till they get to where it's getting, and then they rocking and yo, you got like platinum dread, like, do that. I don't know, something about to be, So I'm gonna wait for that to happen. I'm not gonna diss it because it's the energy still. These kids know how to market themselves. They too good at it. They quick, so quick in all these ways. The music just probably ain't even caught up to them yet. They ain't even took it all the way serious yet because they can know they can make money off of it. But your soul as Black people, as melanated people, need some music. So it's only a matter of time before that business thing takes a second place to like put some quality of music in my world. I'm gonna create what I think that feels like for y'all.
Hey Garfield, have you ever done music for films or movies?
Well, we did the Place Where You Belong for Beverly Hills Cop 3 soundtrack. It was the lead single. And so we performed that song on our shows now. Got to meet Eddie that time and Arsenio that night. That was cool.
That's a nice little vibe too.
But that song was dope, man. Trey Lorenz actually co-wrote that. We rarely had a co-writer on any of our songs, but one time Trey Lorenz actually we got that track and Trey Lorenz helped write that song. I don't know if y'all remember Trey Lorenz. He was a dope back in Mariah. He did some early stuff with
Mariah.
Yeah, Trey was dope, yo.
He had octaves, man.
Trey was ill with it, yo. But his pen was nasty. People don't realize his pen was nasty. Yeah.
We need him on Behind the Collar.
Yo, I think he might still be out there because he was too talented not to be somewhere writing for somebody at least and demoing up some stuff. Like I think he did some stuff with Groove Theory, like Amel and them.
He did.
Like Trey was everywhere. Everybody knew. Everybody that was in the artist world knew Trey was nasty.
He didn't get enough credit though.
Nah, he don't get enough credit. He don't get enough credit. You know who don't get enough credit? That's from the new school. Well, for me, they new school. I don't know why too, because if you look at his track record, if you look at the longevity and the amount of hits, people just take it for granted. But I think Chris Brown don't get enough love.
You know, after he had that little situation,
that's what did it.
They started hating the man and start and
yeah, they need to really look at this dude's talent, man. Yes. Like, cause okay, like in my day, we had like a Genuine that could dance real good like that and still sing, right? And then you know Usher came through with the ill. Then when he came out with Confessions, he was born, but he was Usher Raymond way before that.
Yeah,
he was Uptown and doing all that stuff with Kyle West and Al B. But then that Usher with the Confessions album, that was just incredible. And but then you know Chris Brown was like you know right before right after that you know and he was a young dude with crazy dance skills, could sing his butt off, had a Latin idol handsome, you know, he could act, do what his like he's a dynamic dude and he could just roll over and just put a hit out when he feel like it. And it'd be a hit and it'll be sounding like nothing else. But people don't even be talking about it. They just know it's a hit, they bobbing their head to it, and his album sales go crazy. Yeah. But he don't, you know, he can do it too if he feel like it. But people kind of don't have name on their radar. Everybody know who he is, of course. But they don't give enough like, yo, Chris Brown.
Right.
I think he's dope as an artist, you know what I'm saying?
He is. He really is.
Total artist. He's a total performer. Period.
I think they're getting overshadowed by all the other stuff. But Chris, when it's all said and done, like later on in life, when they look back at this time, he's gonna be one of the ones that stand out as somebody who for a long time, like how Drake been around for forever, keep reinventing himself and just boom. Chris Brown been around for a long time, man.
He has.
Remember when like who was like Trey Songz, Chris Brown, Lloyd, maybe Pretty Ricky, Marcus Houston, and all of them. Like around it was a time when they had first started kind of coming out.
Yep.
And then I think him and Trey Songz separated themselves a little bit from that pack a little bit. Yeah. At that time, and but Chris, man, he ain't never had nobody to push him, man. He could just roll out of bed every 3 years and throw out a head.
Hey, and that's satisfying them too, man. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a like one of the comments here talking about the politics in the business, man.
A lot of that.
Let me tell you this, man. First of all, because we running out of time, and
it don't even seem like it's been an hour.
I hate when we have great people on the show like yourself, brother, and then the clock just keep going and going and going. Okay, but first of all, man, I want to thank you for coming to the show. I know you created this time for me, all right, because I know you've been real busy. I appreciate that, man, and you know, you guys are still, like I said, I karaoke that one, man. Right? I karaoke, Baby, I'm Yours.
I can't believe you pick Baby, I'm Yours. All the songs you can
dude, because I'm doing your part. I'm on yours, man. I'm not light skinned. I ain't got the good hair, all right, but still, you know what I'm saying?
That's
funny. I got curly hair, but it ain't as curly as yours. I can't do it.
Hey, look, my father's like the color of this shirt, man.
Get out of here.
My dad is dark skinned, but my mom, you know, dark skinned, light skinned lady, dark skinned man combination. And then I kind of, you know, I'm lighter complected, but my mom is way more light skinned. I'm kind of red, but we do have like some kind of, everybody already said, but we do have some Native American stuff going on, Creek Indians and South Carolina and all that kind of stuff in our little situation.
Look at they requested another half an hour. Listen to this.
I could go another half hour, man, but I got to respect my man's time, number one, okay?
Yeah.
You know,
but I appreciate y'all for wanting me to stay. I do appreciate that, though. I do.
Hey, man, look, we appreciate you for coming through, man. So
yes,
before we go, though, you know, we normally have a life coach that comes on here and gives us a life coach minute.
Okay.
Didn't get the life coach minute today, so I'm asking you, I'm begging you, brother, for the next 2-3 minutes, man, life coach us.
Oh, wow. Well, look, first I'll start off by saying, in terms of qualifications, I'm not qualified to be anybody's life coach, but I have lived for 53 years, and maybe I've seen a few patterns that I might be able to say, hey, consider this. You know what I mean? Like for me, you know, I'm a vegan now for the last 12 years, but ever since I was 17, I stopped eating beef or pork. And I can see some residual like impact of that, differences. I feel better. But above and beyond even that, I'm starting to notice, because I had a grandma from Harlem that lived to be like 102. And she drank her vodka every night, did all. It's a state of mind, y'all. Like we got to really, really start looking at how we see the world and how we think about what we think about. You know, because it's how you see. It's your angle. It's your angle. And you got a magnet. You're a magnetic person. We're electrochemical. We water and electricity. We attract. We vibrate. And yo, our thoughts really do have a lot of like gravity to them. And so when you get in a rut of gravity, it is just like a record that you playing. You create them grooves, and that needle gonna go to that deepest groove all the time. It's gonna go past everything and just fall into that deep groove. So if you got a real deep groove of like a self-hate or a real deep groove of like a imperfection that you feeling insecure about, you're gonna draw so much energy to that's gonna be the thing that your life sees through. That's gonna be the lens. So
say it.
Whatever you vibing on, know one that it's a choice to vibe on that. And if you vibing on something that you know is positive, get satisfaction out of that and be happy about it, because you can attract all things that have anything that got a little bit of that in it. When it comes to you, that's the part that's going to be in the foreground for you most of the time. And that's going to be a cool way to kind of like float through. And I think it'll keep you younger, keep some music around you, because you are music. All sound is wave and frequency. So if you inundate yourself with music, boom. And for the youngins out there, I would tell you this might sound crazy, but in your day, like in the mindless parts of your day, don't just be mindless, because other frequencies will pull you and put you into their frequency move. But for you, create a rhythm, create a drum beat in your head, create a 1-2, create a boom bap, and just walk down the street with that playing. And that's your rhythm that you're creating for yourself and your pattern, and other things that's trying to get in, like even colors and TV things. Those are rhythms and patterns. People's shirt is nothing but frozen sound. The pictures on them, that's all geometry is frozen sound in octave, and so it's resonating. But you can create your own. Matter of fact, if you create one dope enough, other people in your circumference of thought around you start vibrating to your movement, your beat, and your rhythm without even knowing that that's what you're putting out there. And so that part is strong. Sound travel 1,120 feet per second, but thought is 24 billion miles per second, and light is 186,000 miles per second. And you got all of those three things in your being, yo. You know what I mean? So you can use them. You can use those.
Did he drop it? Did he drop it, bro?
Look, we didn't even have to register for this class. All right, we got the master class for Mr. Garfield Bright, Dr. Garfield Bright. Okay, hey, bro, we appreciate you coming through, hanging out. Man, come back, dude. You got to come back and give us more.
Yes,
for sure, man. No doubt.
I'm gonna reach out. I'm gonna reach
out to me.
You know I'm gonna bug you.
Oh man, it's all good. It's all good. You got to, man, because I'll be doing stuff, man. Once you finally get me there, I'm there with you.
Yes, sir.
And before we go, I want everyone tomorrow to tune in to this new artist, his new single coming out. It's called Long Burn. Listen to it, Garfield. This guy has talent. You might want to bring him on stage with you. Raphael Miller. His stage name is Unscripted. Coming out tomorrow. You guys tune in, listen to it. You're gonna love it. This guy's good.
That must be your cousin or something. That must be your cousin.
I'm always
he's not my cousin, but he's a good. You know, I like good music, bro. When I hear good music, I run it in the ground.
There it is. That's all I'm saying. Me too.
Hey man, if you guys are out there and you see SHAI out there doing their thing, go to the concert. You know that they're doing it. Go to the concert. It's going to be
come to the Midwest. SHAI, come to the Midwest.
Oh, that's our favorite place to be, is the Midwest.
Man, I got some place for y'all to go. I'm gonna inbox you at some other time and tell you where you guys can go and have a beautiful crowd there, man. It's gonna be a nice crowd there.
I know what he's talking about. You would definitely feel the house.
No doubt. Well, you know, the promoters, that's who brings us. So it's not just on us. I wish it was. I wish I could just say I want to go to Cleveland tomorrow next weekend, you know. You know what I mean? But it's the promoters that put together the packages, and hopefully they put us
man, I'm gonna put together the package. I got a little loot. I'm gonna put together the package.
Okay. Hey, I love it. The Midwest is our favorite, like the Chicago's, the Detroit, the St. Louis's, the Kansas Cities of the world. Like that whole that's you know, get Indiana, like Gary, like down in there, Starlight Plaza, whatever that place is we performing at.
That's gone.
It's gone.
Oh, they tore that down.
Damn, that's why I used to
You
love
got
rock.
the Hard Rock now. You got the Hard Rock over there.
Yep, Hard
Okay.
Rock.
But I
Hey,
love
my
the
man,
energy.
Mr. Fluent says, "Good luck, brother."
Thanks,
Good luck.
man.
I'm sorry.
The Midwest, when they rock with you, they rock with you. They let
Oh,
you know
yeah.
either way. Cleveland, you like, man, I love the Midwest.
We
Well,
enjoyed you so
we're
much,
out here.
Garfield. This was such a treat.
Oh, well, thank y'all. Appreciate y'all for real.
Hey, man, we appreciate you for coming through, hanging out with us again. I'm gonna be bugging you, bro, for real.
All right, man. Stay on me.
No doubt, man. It's Dope Living TV Live, man. We will see you guys on Monday. All right, y'all have a good weekend. Peace.
Peace. I'm out, y'all. I think.